ase enti dia wo oba first ye otimi taking me free na bushafo fi enti akora na wona ne papa ne maameti na moka kasafi a akora ne kasafi na
mo
amofa ba kokwa achese ansa na akora ebeto fom no be bia de maameti no akora ne sua kasa ansa na yawo na to fom
enti o fa fura no ahase e kan ngoma o kan books sa ko de ba wa be dada ansa no ba
sa ye ne sa oja si we are say about 6 o'clock say ko kan story book bi akora no say we no wuti
yeah
ito bo peke amofa me say o do pa ma obi a o kan asante kasa wonyim na won free Kumasi enkotina Tamale wo akra ne sei pa akra no beti kasa ikan wo so da wo beti
ya
ba wo se wo ahwa na mame ne nti
obeti kasa ho do eka wo
nyina wo beti what you say eno nti no akra bi wo ye MJ ne ye modu ade ne saa
enti anopa me hyase na me ka kira wo fo no se nonso brem na fe na mode nkwada no eko school enti wodu ba bia ya to wura gu basa na wa kire ne se wo ho de ekoso ha abusa na adwene obeka na adwene wodu ba bia walkway so ho no wa kire no abusa na adwene obeka na adwene enti wo ko nyina no na osua de e ka ne tirimu a aka ne tirimu eno a ofo bi de ba ye na bimisa ofo nza de abio na ofo bi de ba ye se yen kan kira ofo aka ne se omunya ibrofo no omne nkwara no ka ofie no omo nka local language no na in fact ofo ba ko kan se St. Martin's de Porres omo last PTA meeting omo koye no na school ni ya ne de ade to dwa se omo man kwada no nka local language no ofie na school be take care of the English language of school
by no problem for according to GS okay the time me ko training college ni die first craft from nursery ekusi class 3 lower primary no if it be L1 L1 is okrum kasa yes e na fa kire nkwara da
but international school for ne de omum pen
na busa se look ayi no government schools so mo use omunya ka profo
yeah
edi ehun awu but you see ebi so a teacher ni no so kira de no wonim wontimi nche ni twimu wontimi nche na eyefe ne se every
na kwala no so aye manfrafo enti de hin no beka kasa de hin no beka
no ba se baby a obi ade ye predominantly no e wo ho se bia ha se ye half for says my phone that was in the bekanzima what just
but e bia na teacher no so nte
and also another challenge a new challenge because I will fa member Wesley College maintains ma but madam back no you really and the kwa nyina ase at the close of the country in from waka ho I don't kwa nyina ase to want take say want take
GS for posting or eno so omohwe
ya lutina yes as you no so omohwe eno te dru ba bi no na as a district bia na sponsor nkofo aboko school
yes
it be no obi anu asa aba ho tamofa be ye dey say asante achim sad for a best sponsor will be so one Wesley College now boss won't want to be what I say it's a Mampusi district for sponsor will be say one training college or buy din ya some Mampusi kasa eso what
now we expanding on so oba bronu na ofiri mu ene jurisdiction ofiri mu no onimni ekoso ho nyina ene ntiti ahodo ekoso enkwada ewo ho omonkwada boni sem ne ande ko se wa training college aba enti ya de bibi foforo aka ne nimdi a wo ho nti oba no wo kire enkwada ade wo ho no mu a obeti wo mase ye no mo nso atena se ama ne mo wo kire no eso atimi abo mo mfa so
ene ye fe bibi RPK
okay
relevant previous knowledge RPK relevant previous knowledge and am say what area ho no wonim papa kosi bia na wo ye mpreku okay wonim alaji fuseni bia wono enantwa no wo ye seni se na ye no ana seni se no timi fa so ebenye eska hwe ne ma enti wo ya utimi ne nkora ne relate e ka se mo kai papa na efemi ndu etwo ye se say what I say to wonim obi bia just na muti interaction timi ye de ba mo fa de we no how feasible is it so that say be ye kasi ye the practical so what it is saying very
especially cosmopolitan areas
she said ye traffic it's a careful abroad ye beka but said the for can
but I will phone no
banning count could kasa wo fi
I will phone na ye de man kwala ne nye
jai
Ubusan say na maame na otun ade e wa ha no we say she has stood up. That's why sorry. Brofo na awofo ni bi ede gu nkwala ne mu ne nye. Enti okọ school no okote papa no afa no aye confused. No hu ne onfa.
Miss Onyina Ebusa say good morning chief. How many of the sponsored teachers accept posting back to their locality?
And there no eye omo na sponsor wo tumi gasa wonye so wa anko back a yedimi emputu nko be be say district na de wo ko district see the 40 da afie de omo ko ye what just say 40 na we school a district na be pu say okay wo be ko cheche bia say we be ko gbogu we be ko dubi we be ko ha we be ko ha aha babu fa question back also ne say district no ka say afie mu this comes way
so munis card ya na chese wa be kwa kobo bra
na chese nya district na be sofa na Ghana na sofa
Sunday mi am ko me bra so de ne on to me ka say
na me ko me bra ka just na me ko chade o group
God wa ofo bin su Brazil Achimota school no hu say ofa hospital na nim ho a ya ye
you know foot
bridge ama omo baromo emfaso na me fence agro
edo mu ya na mo wi
sister Cynthia say no kofa ho na yes a few bi ne faso na chese o ma wi so asa nipa ba ko mienu nam so no o follow di kan kan no ono hu se nipa mienu pen nam so o ma aka nyina nam fom and sister Cynthia of Daughters of Glorious Jesus ono so okofa ho no hu se 1 2 bi o ma aka nyina nam fom e di aba sire school no se ya am o mo dia e wo so o mo faso ho
that's wa fa pese punish wo amofa enye ho nkwampo na sa food bridge ne bi ewo school be mi no se bi no mo food bridge
bring us o mo bi
mo fa o atese national na eso mo so ewo bi ti no o mo mfro
okay
because I will follow from one. Tell me, hold my traffic crime. My traffic. That's good. But
drivers in the one was.
Aye, it's in my traffic. You hope. I don't say drivers no go na fa a bagging pa. Bi no bad isuya e wo gimpa. Enti around 12 eba 1 2 3 ni nyina na why busy.
I go to take to ko there no go forward problem.
Na enkrofo yin so yo omo ne nam hono na osafu jan e wo kwawutafo o kire se NCC fo so du o ma ehwa mo papa na say yetiatia
Jesus no one piece bejo NCC
no mo
ho
ya to ya kwa no kwa want ya ndio
o se ade ya ne say na no ayi bi koso protocols you dey ni so NCC fo ka me wo twam ya brand new pick up e dia mo and niam de gum no o di twam no say tu duru ha no and na wo kan say na ade na muni so na bibisi so kakra bia enti nko amonte
amofa na no me share o mo pick up ne ba ko mayi Madina Zongo Junction Chorus here. And what ne boasi o. And all bo population and housing census.
God was say Agri Memorial.
Yeah, correct.
And all bo population and housing census for nyum. Then so create awareness because what ne boy kwan da na nim no what ne bo. Na main road yi mu a wonam. Why na tie population and housing census adi?
And move am ko you.
I was sanko the community ni mu. E what the obiti ne fie kra no am use ho so nti nipa ne beti.
We nya hwetwe da so e dia wo beti.
Na e ha ya wonam yi die.
Ofa Ghana ya wonam bebre yi. Ya wonam bebre ti tire bi to say ade bi aba very trivial issue bi aba na ye ne asom ne ye twene tan na basa ne sra do say na say priorities ye huni ye. But amofa ade mi say profile beti bia no. What ase wo local language mu.
And this one says, good morning, owner. My company organized a mother tongue competition during the International Language Day. Only 5 employees participated out of over 100 employees. Can you imagine?
Local language ni cry na say who can local language I just who name there cause you don't know what is going on.
You don't know what's up.
Hey.
What bon?
Amofa na nsem twadwuma ya ye kura omo ka professor o ma dwen ye omo so omo ano omo no omo ano
so mo dey
anyway so obi anso keka na dwente na abana wo se value dia na omo ye ho no
Oh, in fact, Valley View for ne de omo yade.
Omo primary school na.
Basic school no.
Okay.
Omo bo omo homodin. Me Christian school ni nti ade a. Omo no se morals ene ma ye wo community ni mu a enye ne de ho adesua na wo na ni papa wo ho. Se planting ya ye kan say as young as class 2 for nyina omo duanua dada. Asa na national one ye kureba. And I think say omo yade. Was say other schools in so Asia. Okay. When one way na Kenneth Abraham you.
Say. So children kwada kwa emfa so nua na sa na no yedi nkomo ha no so e kan kire me say school US
so
school for no agigi skabom no mo
enti akola bia e de ne flower pot ko
no na me pati no
obia de ne flower pot ko
what did you
e na omo dua seedlings ni wo mu enti omo ba pon omo de back classroom ho de be si ho ade chia no pa no de akosi garden no water asa no ma start class
enti omo ya ko say
nyini a omo bedua
ansa na akola na
odua na
yeah omo de na start ko ya ye fa so de aduaba no e shadow tiem
because omo start esua plants e wo class 2
okay
anti se ne plant no come by no ye kire wo mo ansa na plant ne nyina no ma se dua e wo ho nti ko ho no anua na e wo ho bebre ni de nkwala na
practically
on the contrary, in the rural areas in particular, where a teacher who doesn't understand the dominant language in a particular area or who doesn't hail from there are able to instill in them their own custom. Dosona mi huni
no person o chene say obi wo ho no mo a on free nkare enti ni kro mu custom na e wo ho no eno na ode be che nkwala na e wo nkare na de because anu no nim sa no person o chene
okay enti so no free work na say ye de no
akọ ho a ni onim no eno na ode be man kwala but e bi nsusu na enye nkwada no custom no
enti ka e betumi anka babi obi afri no
yeah ye man nko chade no ho yes I bo
sa what about say ye betumi ama ye custom so aframa ye nyina ye tumi atiwe yase
o say teacher for no say ye kire o mo school na e kire ni nyina major ones ni ye kire mo college na
sa
ye kire o
okay enti baby awo bia no obetumi ate obi ase e wo bra ye do akọ
say we appreciate obi a culture and any custom
okay eko ye Harriet dey asem awu for na ye word too yeah bro
bro for born na dey ya
anyway anti nkoma no pay ye die ne die ye ne awofo no na nyina na akabom na ye die na ye da mo ase e wo nsem amode ba great discussion all on point Anita Prudential Mrs. Good morning ye da sound so do die ababeka ye pese awofo no tumiti ase se anyiri ye ho nkwada nketo ano a eba no a titru anywura ye tugu kwa ho say your man kwada no ti ase say ye mfa wura nto abonten free sabre yi a wo fo no kwada bi to abonten obetiam
oh yeah omo Canada omo kan
papa kan bi a kire golden da
na re
omo kan chiro
say no free no ha na aba na won so ti aso onu
what they say with me kind ba ku mi sasa Pacific
yeah no
ba ku Mun do be now work to say yes. It's just work rabbit. But I think it's just na ye.
Pa. Enche wo de obehu.
Aso onyu wo we wo obro bi ato atwene ba bia do hia.
Ngrom baby.
Oh yes. Apa was 50 ma ato
atwene wo na akọ baby no. No hanso so agya nya ne sa nkwada ni nyina nim se ye toto niema emu basa. Abusuafo nkoma ye die no eye kwampa ye nyina betumi afa so. Na yemma ene yemma ni yekure yetumi asiesie ama yehie ye mpanimfo e de asa de abraka ya ne yaserepe enti ya chance ya mfa mfiri nkwada no ho a wanhwe ya ebe ha ye papa enti ye nhye no nso na ade abaako a ebinom eka ene se ne aka eye respect obua ewo se emofra no ede ebu mpanimfo na sawofo no hye ase wo fi a ebeboa pa amani amanyina ayeye redu with I say on so no de ede ababe kan asafo no wa adwuma ye the church and if you no so wa adwuma ye busua no and afi society e wo mu no so e wa adwuma ye sebe ya ye nyina no se ye kasa ye ma no betumi ate ye nhye no so wono so omo ne ye nuanom omo aba beboa kaya yefo ye adwuma se ye wo stores omo ne omo ye adwuma ye se mo ne omo nkasa dodo no across kwan ohuniama no so no na ode kroso ekwan yi yani mo hayi ohwe omo fa hono do bo
a ma me pa panimu a wonni nimfie na mofa wonni ya be 65 dia mofa obitimedi na chenchina wafuru fifth media ni na wo kroso wa ho ade kra wo fom
ya
wo ho ade kra wo fom ti furu atwede ye te se wodwe ho a amofa ha adwen
great discussion, professional journalist on board. Charlie, I said that. Edi kakra kakra between ya abuwa magana anya baby enjina no. Ye nyina ye.
You see, amofa. You're perfect.
Yeah.
You're perfect, dear. But meet Maka say, ye generation training na ye nyaya no. Na no wash kakra.
Papa.
Na generation ye di ye ni mo just na wash. Me gidi sa abuwa.
Papa.
Over me gidi sa abuwa pa. Na e wo say ye generation na ye won finish say no. Ya anye careful a. Ye be bon kokra ye rebe ho pa. Ame be hu sie ni anka se die hu hwam.
The rate on sa kane no who is a society ne a change me ma dwene mo no a decade 10 years bia no niam asesa kakra but the rate as say air cro no ayehu pa so offer enwom a so ho music so be akaka kunu mo breso no it take be 10 years ansana
no mo kaka
ansana meba ansana esa na eba na kwame ampadu no mo woman esa kakra lumba no mo kakra but say boys na o ma ba no chale we di fa na we di afa
o tu hwese bia lumba ne kuvantwi mu a time na so mu si to monyo anything say we the 20-year difference we the hwese aba so mu start this na o tu some of a difference we mo pa the use of vulgar language kasa fi yanke ntimi nkana bonten he said the tonu ma I'm for missing as a bone ma me na number na we tenu bia ho na stop what say because that what tree no
yeah
enti wutie nwum na anopa me me da anopa no nkono awia first say 2 o'clock wutie nwum na what say no akwati enye eti wa no wa no wa so wa no yi yi usa wa pa nyu kakra bi se
usaka wo so but says it doesn't work as easily as we are saying or you are saying. It's good that children speak their own language, but all the textbooks are written in English. When you go to the rural areas, it's very, very serious when it comes to reading the textbooks. And also as for
the tennis say as Oman ye serious to say be a person promote local languages but amofa Oman bia so ni wiase o moto promote all the local languages
okay
untimi
that be
anya possible
enuntina
say timinya ba kwa na mienu
eno de okofa base say e be yasem
ba bia ye ko no sa na wo say back so Oman bia bna o makọ Oman ni bia no one language omo nyina so hu omo so omo ye back
yes
From how the day in your befam, let
me bring in the scriptures. The scripture. Share Onyanko Pop Pesa, Omus Yan Yaka, Casa Bakua, Yesi, a Diana Tuano Surhono, what to tea a Cassem. Once a Mobenya Casa Bebrino, Obiajan, Obiatias Yanko, or then a Busian and a moment as Yanko, Yamakabi Omunfi, and tea, we are Sibe, or my Bia or a Tumpobiano, one Casa. Uzi China almost on China for Obedu Ghana ha be a Sante for a be a before a be a here for because of Casa who don't I can
but see baby a way the Oko Casa Yamfa Casa way and any national language a beas.
Yedi Hong Kong Omo Ebanone and Quadanki to a Ebano, a be a bedroom, Betiasia.
Nobody see Amufa. census ayi me gidi say omebusa question wo ho say kasa be na woka
omebusa
Omanfm
kasa be na woka
okay
omefa kasa be na woka ye wion ba aggregate o make ka abom ehun say kasa Ghana for do woka ene kasa wi ye private state ma hwe two previous censuses ayaye say 2010 die na bofa na kasa do say kasa nipa do say do Ghana mo kasa ba akobi ye beta ke no boma kasa kasa wi ene yeka obi Ghana for do no aka ene nti ye ko yanim no e we sa kasa no ene nyina di ye adwuma amofa anye sa de a ye wo problem anye sa ye kasa promote local language no ye ntimi anye sa de pese ye de sa de a etimi se mo obi ntu kwampo nko ba bi nko kira de what does he because me metasante mem what the bank cry me da kwache obi nkran kasa does it mean say ye no ntina say me chencha me je kumase does it mean so bi so ti osu no so tin nkran kasa no o so won tim ko kumase nko kira de eye problematic enti ye nyu so census amofa decision that yesu be hwana ye obi na gidi ye
pepepe decision bia be waju so be take
decision bia be ka so be take bia ni obi free education ko bi so mo mpe enti ye amafa we have come to a point you know GDC here language you ta boyen unless they be the use of language say bit they develop Ghana Oman be develop be sanity o
pepe
mo fa Canada mo different languages bebre but mo can mo two official languages French and English
yes
eno mo use o kwa da be ya Mandarin we no sa yes we see as nye de anya sa de a entimi mwa he young University of Education we di ba omo che languages for ababe for languages omo person mo kire and fa teachers wo lectures wo mbe kire sa language no but omo nye students nkire omo sa language no omo nye students encho omo sa language no omo ma enti no wo ko school say your first say language ni enche wo school ho no mo a na wo ti kwa abai
no bo afu
wo ti kwa abai no wo kro mu ni wa anko so nya sa kasa so be kire
yeah it's school since omo nya teachers no language teachers who are doing ubisa for na administrators
but language lecturers at various universities in the mo
okay
opeja jikum mo ho no but omo be kwa kosua aba be kire nkora de JSS ne primary no omo nko
ye ko ya ne mame wish very reverend John Boa Kofi St. Peter Methodist Church Odoko happy birthday he's always with us just so for the tembia no so uchim free Omanfm wa ha no
omofa we the software be kwa mami me send e baako yesi mi ni mami
wa ka wa de
software dance pa
nye software dia
se jeni ma yedi mi da sabe ho
omofa so de wanya wie
mi Jamaica ho fe ka bese bi enwena ka bidama se valley dia ya mami
software bi e kwa die
software de mi dance pa eti mi ami nua ketua ojuken Eliota Sarijima odini happy birthday
okay I wish you well
enti kodwe na my boys in Huso na akufisa obebefi atafo papa also obebefi
indeed man you are really shaping the nation bless you auntie nana adwa okusaforo yenso ye da say ene mo atenya ye pese oman no kono ase okay whatever you teach your children will lead them to become responsible citizens. Already I say that say onso so de odie abeka. Thank you so much this morning. You've made my day. The parents should stop speaking the bad English with their kids. Okay. Example is my own. It's not your yours.
It is my own.
If is a poo-poo.
We really poo-poo out there.
So Kaswa Iron City. Nyamia yebi. Enti Reverend John Boa message san payments mean and wish you well on crown odi kan e de buy na mani e paso kakra. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, that's it.
Obi the I think say a decent but I say no say can't answer. Was it since we are sitting there ya back.
Okay.
It was no so dear could be or the suggestion and say enka international languages no Kefa ba kunka English ho. Se be ke be fa French kana ke.
Ya ma protozo ano no.
The way madam fu ba.
Protozo ano so ya na asema ano no.
Sa
say yemfa ne dia kra wo ha ne yemfa bi. Eda ne yasan kofa obi fufuro dia ba kwa be kan.
Oh, but the one international language can English no man kan.
Sa ya dia no.
This are they said them go for
English. And yemfa dia no ba kunka ho. Na eda ne yakofa obi dia na ya dia be kan wa dey.
And say English into they fa local language ba kunka ho. That local language ba kun. Okay. But still doesn't mean say see a local language ba ko see doesn't mean say wo su krumu je no bi jaika and I'm Abraham Bwan.
Yeah.
Anchi abako University of Ghana ho na ye di language ho nkomo.
Okay.
Na ya hwe awofo a wo mma kwan ya fa so atete nkwada no ne niema hodo a ekoso na ya expand on ne ade aba oman no ankasa mu ne ahwe ne a ekoso wo Ghana ha se mo amadwe ne nyina nso ye da obi ase ye respective views nyina nye nipa ne nyina na nya kwan ade omo de ade aba but ebi nso ewo akwanya enka omo ebeboa ama
over ye mame ba ko so we must keep pushing for one Ghanaian language but whilst pushing for that we must make sure say other language for some language Yankele no.
Yeah.
Or mechanic just that you say no school say local language. But we see we should make sure say we so no feel says you push over way.
No, that be yes. We push over my way enye no dey.
I think say over history be tree. Me just a professor ku mu bit ma tree. Say ekwa China for being one local language.
Okay.
Ekwa Indonesia for Singapore money ade no nyina use one local language yes nyina timi ditu what did they do
okay
eso mutimi my historical you say kwaba bo fa so ye no but don't be surprised a bit by say that time no me dictators.
You are right.
I won't be surprised say that time no me dictators
nani ho God the media the minimum an say omo ye omo adwen se omo si abanso de akọ nyankopon ho no omo nyina kasa ye baako and otete kasa dum afi we kasa we enti tensam obi adwen nko obi asubanko obi akasa nko ana adwuma no omo ye nina enti ba bi amo wa amo kasa ye baako if we dey bagan ha kra godon se o kan obi kasa especially politicians won mo mutimi kasa ho do no si ba bi aye je no ba bi o timi ka o kasa no so o ti ko afisa jaba o kagu bi sa obi ano mo je no o fa ha no mo je no aye exempare no o tefa krobomemu a ye je no o tefa no fo nso a because o kasa no o hu sa o kasa no pe o hu ne se o ye ni nua so no dwene a eye yie enti timu a eba dodo no ano ye kasa no nso e play wo enye no nko abate play wo anoba me kai wo se wo pe ba bi e do sika koto ya afo ni kire ADB wo ma adwuma so ani papa kona ADB for enyo adom naja nyame emwa ema osika sem enkoyi hyenanso na fa mame ema remfi se yeko yanim ye nyema nyina yie no enma sua enebo St Peter's Mission School o ma adwuma eso ani pa anti fa abofra no ko na efri SHS1 ekono wo mo ewa de sua sonko ya wo de ema mo fra ya no akọ school akọhwe ho East Legon Mane Palms Obojo Ashalbotwe eho ena wo mo ewo edin no eye St Peter's Mission School fe 0244988744 0244988744 na woni St Peter's Mission School for Eddie Enkomo rice wo dwom ayeto eye Ghana de Ohema Royal Rice onuma atobie be ka cho se anunsu e de eye kama ekoyie ya no atobi da bia me kam se mo frɛ ya omo bɛyi omo ni taste o de won tete omo no na kyerɛ ba bia o do omo direction hwɛ so wo de abrofo de na atre wanum na wo yere ho ai wo ma so watumi asesa as won tumi sesa emofra no aye pe Ohema Royal Rice utumi de ye bibia ye de emo eye na ho den no nso wo soro miaye te se taifa afi tema mamu bi malam miaye bebre onsa ebeka bi frɛ 0244409092 0244090992 na oni Ohema Royal Rice for enkonkodi nkomo na yenko amano so na yene Professor Openyin Kofi Ejekum Head of Department Edema Linguistics University of Ghana Legon kege o lecturer
me of family
bibia adope di language hon komo na Ghana had woni himself sa udi sa nkomo na Openyin Ejekum amemu a NCP
entina me chama na kasa ansana ma fetching so na mbasa me na I had my cognac theory be wrong.
You see of a match.
Yeah.
Oh, what to say?
Nana ma kase Martin say onya theory be wrong. Or no kasa wa bene.
Me kai say ye koye edu eyo ho ade no frem ko gina nchen. O say yawo, sa kasa we ya wo kan da bia wuti o. Am say na prof house wo de ade kire aba. Prof Sebas obi kasa bi titru eye Ghana kasa no wotia ya na wo ho ye wo say.
Sese ebi ho maka o twede manen famam na be kwa ko bodi pakona. Eke be jadi pakro twede. Se mi tiere bina omode ne na se so do ha na me ho tikin ke se ko prefuso. Ama so me tumu.
Ni ayedi ho nkomo eye kasa ene oman ene yesu ne yepase ye hya ase ede free aman a omotumi enya kasa ba ko a aboa wo mo ye hwe kwan a omo fa so a omo etimi enya kasa ba ko sanse ya na sa akwaya den se oman bi betumi aka omo abom se yepase enya kasa ba ko ewo abakosem kwan so no aman a omo enya kasa ba ko no mo fa kwan be so
no be ni no de bi ka ne se ebi o ha o ye kasa no insa e ma gba ba ndi aba na o tumi iti o kase ifi afi ye bi sun kasa we na ye nyina di juma e ba sa o influence bi etimi ye juma so tra nye ye na sa ba no frisa o do sa ba nfu fra ba ban so ba be dan ni enken kasa no enye kasa kini bi awa kan ya na enu ehu kakra na ebi won so a ombo ti afi se mo mayen keka kasa bimom eno na Kenya ne Tanzania mo kiswa he omo eye no na chaza be kasa enye obi abia di yeni na afi obi antumi kasa ye fa men kasa ya amfa we kasa eno honom oko Spain omonso etumi ye bibi sa na nkofo bisa me se Ghana beye ne den a aya na mahone so kakra isan se kasa ya dia wan hweye kakra bi na odi bredi kusan odi bakro na nim se ye buka se wo oman no se ye mfa ba ko na ono no de emmamu krada ya shisha wan ha obekwa kujiti ezo se kasa no bata na kuma hunti o kape obaka ze nyeyi etia na kofo bisa me amese yo se bibi tattoo approach tattoo no na table the is geography is table mountain is also before now obekwa kudu dia asa ono ayet flat na se udinsuo good table so a ne obi na tre ensuo no kwan ekebi de sari ide be ya asomdue bebaniti kam se na bible kan mo na mbomuni na otwabre no dura ye be hunu de ni de gumo enti yamma kasa dia mbomuni na ye hunu adenti na obi jai ono no kasa ko kasa foforo ye fa na language shift ya wo we also ne kan de na so bitumi na kasa we ho a eno ya anyense eti se ye nyina agaya na wo hu se o enam aduma ye nti se nya kasa we kama de ho a eye we so enam wo mesu nti nya kasa we kama de ho eye obawo se obasha na kasa bi bebre pe kasa bia abeye star a obi anya nkode be kan de ho enti ebe kwa ko du bredi di anya me ne pen so ebe du bredi no na obi na be kasa sia akan enti za wa wo ye lesin wasia lesin aduma wo baabi na akodu asante men na on tika se bia no bi na be se sia asante na hwan kan ha kora ye win kasa no bi pagya no ho obi nya kasa e di twa no funu ma no enso opese okasa akasa no edibere bi bedru akasa na nkasa de no ho beba sa na ya mi ho no
said na okay anopena god ebusa say other countries omotumi ye bi no o kasa omo kofa kasa bi ana enya obi akasa na omotumi form ye de ye omo language omo ye ne say
ye wo language experts bia ba ko edimu eyi pa ye terminologist omo fa kasa bi na on so me fa we mu ye mi say but the PhD thesis the technology so the be ya mina ensimfo bi a eni hodaba na matunya keka nyama bi abumu edu highest level I feel even language engineering so the engineer for keka if you we know the why we are shall not doing nyama me e bi mi say literature na yen shedani in the tree the literature na there we can't say and say oh say literature art to say me obi afa bibia eni ho wafa asawa bi na wakeka bomu na ode ha kokwasha na ode tuntumasha obehia na wanya kente nke art omo mu painting of colors ahusho we no the abomu when you na e ofe omo nyinu to say contain and there e bia ye art omo fashion designers obi ye art fashion and literature here so the fashion piano na bia wadwin say you be to say amensem ana wo de be ye no na e digina so de it is art here any literature we e kasa any agin so what the kasa e di agin amakasa na ye de ayehwan the basa no isi be dunia sami e training am yue me PhD e dia ye de ama literature ye kasa dini into the kasa di ni de akan kasa dini to say ye duma nti what just now omon the sheshe say ye betumi a function fia bia e wo ye kasa mu e de faka ho ye betumi akofa ensem bia enye ye kasa na so abegin din na ya kire no se ye kasa be kire no nti betu se nkofo kasa yi fridge enye adaka ba esukotin aya na emsre o ya sa na wa yira de no ata na on se no fridge na on spare no fridge to se me ye tra fe ro go je na abeye ayi aka no we it is ama omo ye omunya institution bia technologists language experts omo mbeye syntax emu se o pesa o ye kasemu a o de assembly be ya shaha nti omo nyina na kambu mu e no mutumi ya
obani yamfa kasa bi te se Swahili menim se no so Tanzania for no mo sheda na omo develop ya na keke ka chem se omo develop ya eno nso ase tretre ya ko ada miaye bia na eni ho ye betumi afa kasa bia no nso ewo obi memu a eni ha na ye adopt no ye de aye ye kasa
but your language families or hodom say kasa bi o a emi kasa bi o nyina efre busuan krom nti e basa ya na omo hyehyɛ nyina efese ti Tanzania na ewo Kenya na ewo Tanzania ewo Kenya na ewo Tanzania Kiswahili no it is kasa bi ewo Tanzania eni Kenya no efese nti e basa o ya emre kra it is bia wafa ever ye kan wo Togo ye kan wo Benin de canon ewo Ghana na bia wo kambumu just eye kasa abusuan ba ko an just oye akan obetumi atia sikodi mu a na baule nzema awani nomna ewo ho no obe de kan ye de hu a obo nso we ye nya de krona but the baby bria menne nkofo bi ye aduma ewo kodi mu a na omo ne ebono nti Yes, and you be a omubuno and ye bunny, esse, the basama embre. But I will safu flow be kura badia. Let's say, they think that they are the bofune, natural the corona. You can't national language. Say ye kasa na boss if you my name.
Nia wa kan na ma me abusa se obi L1 na onwan kasa ne kasa ya wonu wom na okana se ontumi nka ne yi a e de na ya na ohwere.
Enema ohwere so ni manka ona modern sa beguniti. Se obi nim sa ona manka se gwe no den sa guniti. They because kasa na shalom identity. This obi kasa meye santini ana meye okani na akan kasa wuntumi nkakra ade na ma oyak okani no izan say ye ba amambem ye kakasa ade ba kwa ye de edika ne se kasa ye dika ye tosumi mu ye dwene wo ye kasa ye sonda ye wo ye kasa ye de ni bu nsem wo ye kasa and someone chamus ye pese ye kaya ye kaino ye kasa it cognition abayira the person me nsane say and ya what can language human rights so what mako de bi anka ne kasa ni plan fuma so your kani zemani ga ebe na one can ya bofo kasa utieti ana fa ahudie no e no ka ho bi ti ahwe ya edro bi ba so ankoda na ayeye yi no ebi nda twese ka we so na fiam he documentary bi ana o mo ye no UK a na emaya amadi fie aduo no ne mranche ase omte ho a obofro no sigana fo aba eye o mo ya se bi o mo tia na se bolchuna ekesen no se eye wapim Omanfm ti de na man yesa it is Uma akwara no ehia ono ame kasa oka ono ame kasa eboa de kan ma obi amfa na dwene nkose de kasa ehun nya so ehia brofo dabi obi anwene sa isan say ye po brofo abe global language kanu na babua wo utukwan awumasiam okwa yarsa ya research ahoro aye nyina dodo na ewo kasa no eno ntrese unya kasa no ka ho wayina ema yensa ntiase se akoda bia eye a potential multilingual me kasa za akoda bia kasa dudu bia mensa ebe sonso no obetumi aso isa koda no oni adwene bi ewo nipakuo bi no aka kire o mo se dan go fu kasa afabe wo de sabe kora endi unina na wadwene a fa nipakuo bi ho e no wo ho nti bi ho a wa yo adwene se obi ho a se kasa we wo ye be ne nhia da ni nse me hia ye ba wo mu nti nhia akorande one ni namfo no mu di agro from obobo na yi na osua enti na se awo kan be fufura kasa no nyo mo kasa eni nsie mienu na omo manketoa ka kasa no na mpanufo no so antebren kasa metie
oman ya omatimi aka omo ho abom na omo ka kasa kro no oman ni tumi etisen e de emfaso pa na wo so
emfaso a wo so no se bibi a mo ye bia omanfo ni na omo mo nkrase omo a wo mo ku ni puse ante mu bi no mo amia no a minimum ama ye hu se ye betimi aye newspaper review the one got a buy ye betimi atretie mu e wo ye kasem already ye matching on kwato bi ana menne no eko 1997 e na ye shafia for any puse se eno ama radio stations ahodo a e buy out of many pieces no nyina ma so mu se yamwe e bra so se ye de kasa duduma na yamwe beto afi so say aban pese ode ensem bi to Omanfo ani na ya kyerɛ no brɔfo na mo class ye ko twim tisufo ka hello FM ka Adom FM let's see stations no kura aba no edi amode atoto so Adom ahoto enije ebuama se aban na mawu ase yoya obi atemia ekoso ya hu hia pa no saudo kasa jumba am ko square o hia de na ekowa no yaw diabman ko da bi ko square omonya de eye kasa na ye de kire omade no iti wa ya nken opon ase o kan bibi wo brofo mu a aya wo ti afi wo twi mu wo yaw so do pa he iti se de twi na kire ya sanka na wo ko sakra bu hia na brofo no din no ti afi a e ma hia e be ne bi iti ka babwa adehia e ba agric na akuafo yi odum za research ye no ai our catch mu dodo na obrofo
enokre
na omo ai technical terms na wo mu no kra yan ko school me am se we professor o de omo technical terms ma men tiasia na me ma me a wo mpenchen a o ye kuya sa research aya ye nyina afeka ewo yen catch mu na wa fre in the body so be kind we ma me ye se ni dua bra me nyam se ya no so bebu akuayo bebu anyamsum adentina asofo bebre se omanhu se moma yemfa yekom kasa na ni yenkofo emfa nya sori abebu ha anye yenkoso ene ye ne first service awo brofo na ye du second service ma ye nye no ye yan ko kasa bo wa kwani amani panso gino ko tum na obi esusu bibia ko parliament na wa ko fe na obi akọ parliament nfie ben wotini wode hu na age se ye man yan sa so se obi anka se ye isan se achimotafo na ebe brofo e bi ko sia no woni ono onko kan brofo na wonti asanke bi ekom kasa na ya ka on minute time so se yesterday I did go na anasa I did win inti eken ni pashe fada mi huno
ya bedo ase na ansa na obeko no oman so a omo enka kasa baako ne okai ne opposite ne anase ne ewo ho oman a omo nka kasa baako yenya ya tena ase ya nka kasa baako for all these years senka ye ka kasa baako anka ba bi ewe eho an ye da so
and ke akoya nim chase it sounds fair but there I have the answer say SHS na onya in science onya A in biology na onya A in chemistry na oferi in Uncle University
enokre
ofeli
English na simple or your local language bi anso onya A class still an Uncle University
Uncle adentra nti say ya bonko for amene ya tunko for nti say obi o ha endo obeka say English na mama ntimi Uncle University e bi anke nanso me obi nti say nka ya kasa ba ko a ya ma de nka nso ba nti obi nkotran ba bi nipa mienu bi nsia na say omo kan bibi isansa won to omo kasa nti ya bo ho pa be ku a won
Omanfm
Prof, yaba do ase anopay ene adesua wa ma yenyina yesua.
Na me ansa na me ko no. O da me di no kan say me ye head of department.
Yes, School of Performance Director, yaba do ase no.
But the hono so ma mentra mu bibia. Da bia mo kan
Omanfm
o kan say o ye head of department at the linguistics. I know your brother now o cheba here. The man na say makofa ba no oswafo de ma emunasia chikasa na kan kasa no ye so be now in a position emunasia swafo enye oswafo de ma for the man who must know. I can't say I'm for Minister for Education, a direct translation. But when the end a woman here swap for and to be a Jumano penny, not a penny, the man a Jumano. Where's my shankophobia? Bako Kaya could do or my here at the Madoma. So, yeah, that's the mama, you know, my boy.
And okay.
And you might, I think, the horse or him and the sword, nothing been trapped and died.
Prof. Now, Prof, no, so I know what she.
Say, you shall not a copin doctor, into not Doctor Agri, near to the Queen Agri. Professor, you're being for.
I see. Obenfo, ever do as you pay?
Never know that much.
I
actually, I cobra mommy.
What that's no pay. Professor Obenfo Kofi Ejekum ena yene no edi enkomo no.
Yeah.
Me hu yanka me busa no linguistics no. Ana School of Performing Arts ne no so the tree mu na me de ni nyina so preko.
E bi afi na o develop. Ya onze ofre me Martin. Na ai Professor Yanka so friend.
Sir.
Say and this is how linguistics
department
old staff and I'm sure say more than 80% of me meet there and I say new department after the Martin no more
school dean no different
now outside the no sikano yes moment also kind they made a bono and they kind so can say nsuo egu baby a o dey say omu eno abetene afa baby one eye ehu hia say ye yankasa kasa no ye be ma no ye be ma na nyini so na ya promote one oseso obi atimi ka ne maame kasa the friend L1 the mother tongue ye should be enkran emanu etimi eka ba ya say ye nyina wo mamu a enye kasa ni nyina na ye betimi e develop to the same level ne teacher say the ban woman suamu a entia na ho akohia say Oman no person munya national language there on the Ghana ha no brofo ye official language betimi ahwehwe national language aka ho obi a na me kasa ewa no ho but national language no amman binum shada fa no say yemfa sa national language no na eno nko ade among ye elwana na say ye ma me kasa no itim kasa bi a we no na nipa dodo na ape ana so mo peneka ana say language dominate e wadwadie mu ene ba bia enti yemfa no na ye develop na enkwanimu ba ya no unfortunately basa anye ni panyina na ya no mote ase wo brebi enti na no obvious say kasa ba ko o manu a ye nyina ni padodo bi a wo koboga ya was shocked first time I call boga upper east let me hear radio stations any ade na me but okay too sensitive to be kasa e bi apeso bu obi animtia and I pese o Canada no ehye eninti no ebrebe dua naturally no ebehu say be a 50 years time 100 time 100 years ebehu say ampa kasa we there wo ko ba bia na wo kan obi atase
the Attorney General yeah ora
okay
Godfrey Damho na yene no eni enkomo kakra ye nyina ye nim judgment debtor aba ene ehun nsem a sorry na yenko na yenya sem no eba ne sen na yakwako wie da bia ye dre Attorney General good morning.
Good morning but
no ya na so ai
nyazo
okay ya da sia no pe
ya etinfo nyaso I'm afraid.
TFO nyina ejo so na ye da senso say wanya bre na woni e ba bedi enkomo ye hwe judgment debt abai e ho nkomodie ahyase na ya na mpe bebre no say wantumi ante ase en free form a wan hwe ya na wakofa e de free emfinfin ye nim say aban e ba ye contract bi wo ho a obe etwa mu na ma ye history wo ho ene ba bi a ya bedu yansa na ye busem nsem.
Right. So 2015 now end this by and there's some doing some crisis now. I want enter into that agreement with almost this agreement with. So I'm going to supply power to Ghana on an emergency basis. So the agreement was an emergency power purchase agreement. EPA. So I was signed 3rd June 2015. And see that agreement is said no it's said do my summer year and sana agreement to Edimo. They were all called conditions precedent and some more satisfied before the agreement became effective. And those conditions precedent were supposed to be satisfied within 30 days after almost signing the agreement. So, if I was almost free power 2016, January 7, 2017, still no more 10 years and channel. No more somewhere within 30 days. Over 1 year, far over 1.5 years, and still almost 10 years. Then before moving power, September 2016, no one can say it's our own agreements on my sign. Any other agreements on my signing the same agreements on my side, similar agreements on my side. I hear too much because those agreements are going to result in what we term as excessive power. Almost say, so man to man share, sign an agreement. But buy never break because the government will be compelled to pay unnecessarily for excessive capacity development, as I'm describing on September 2016. I'm formal committee. Say, review agreements on my signing in the energy sector because I had also now committee started committee of 29th September by the chief director of the Ministry of Power, the then Minister of Power. The committee at this point is important to say because the conditions says or more satisfying that agreement so this should have been fulfilled in 30 days.
Yeah, within 30 days.
So good. But by that time, you're not conditions and satisfied. So, they have not even done anything at all. And the agreement, so I just say, agreement ready move. The committee continue the power and the stable committee now, early 2017, somewhere around April, committee don't report by. The committee establishes agreement so much too much because some of the agreements will say if they are allowed to continue. The agreements are allowed to continue with their operation. It would not only result in excessive capacity development, but it would also result in losses of about $586 million every year to the government. So buying a bucket $586 million every year after 2018. And now from 2018 to 2013, when it's $586 million, it will take a boom. The very resulted in a total loss of about $17.6 billion to the government. And for that matter, some of the agreements have to be terminated. Our committee and energy experts on the various agencies in the Ministry of Energy, and they recommended about 11 of them had to be terminated. Intra-11 agreements. Now, agreements are and the postponing and deferred, as was described. So, 11 agreements signed there terminated. One of them was GPCC agreement, because so much SS arguments now expensive. The rates or the tariffs were expensive. Apart from that, even the location of the plant technically, no share. We can master agreements and cost a break. So the government also, the Minister of Energy, referred this report together with other documents to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General in 2017, I think somewhere in 2017, June 2017, advice is well, based on that report together with her own consideration of circumstances surrounding the execution of the agreement and its attempted implementation as a council agreement. So the Attorney then wrote to Minister for Energy, recommending that it should be terminated. Of course, it was based on the technical report of the committee that had been set up. The Minister for Energy at that time, Patricia, also wrote to Parliament and indicated, went to Parliament, appeared before Parliament, indicated that some of the PPAs will have to be terminated on account of a number of factors, and some will also have to be deferred. And subsequently, they carried out the termination. Now, conforming the parties to the contracts, they also felt aggrieved and they went to arbitration and they resulted in arbitration. And yeah, this is very important. It indicates that all the factors that resulted in the termination, of course, based on the report of this committee that has been set up. It was headed by the arbitration proceedings, yes, started somewhere in 2018. Government filed a document many documents. Filed a case, and the people also filed a reply, and they also filed a rebuttal, then they also filed another rebuttal, they also filed a rejoinder. Many, see, amount for different case. The record shows the contrary. The filed documents we are now tribunal set a date for hearing. That is the trial. Okay, we are five papers we are, and then we are that time, because the COVID did the trial in trial, the internet say the monkey screen on big hotel. People came to see, even the former Minister for Energy, even came to witness the proceedings. There were representatives from Office of President to witness the proceedings as well. Proceedings lasted about 1 week as a trial, about 1 week. Every day, near call, about 9 to 5 p.m. We go and conduct the proceedings in the conference room, and then so that's it. See, after August 2020, even beyond that, tribunal, as my opportunity service, will file further submissions on possible costs. Say we are the events Ghana Eddie Beaver. Cost I say a GT for Yanka. In the events and for Eddie Beaver. On the cost as some GT and some can verify. Then the judgment, arbitration procedure can award. But judgment, to make it simple. Judgment, they deliver in January 2021. 26th of January 2021. At that time, there was no attorney, and attorney will be anyone. And also, it's important to say that arbitration judgment is, and to say ordinary judgment, or like I say, my high court of judgment, may call appeal, court for appeal. No. Arbitration judgment, in actual fact, no. There is no appeal, it is final. And indeed, this agreement, Bono, I signed a deputation. It stated that fact. Article 28, paragraph F, and then Roman number 17, if I remember right. Stated that fact. Say arbitration award never man. A final guarantee appeal. Which is that. And indeed, the agreement did not have to state it. It is clear. Even Ghana, here local arbitration, it is stated in the Act, the Authentic Dispute Resolution Act. It's Act 796. The arbitral was a final. and we can show a PD court for high court. It's not a fair challenge because of challenging arbitral order or high court. You can do so only on very restricted grounds. That maybe there was lack of education. Tribunal normally 2 years of year. And I said, we be in an illegal way. And I said, if you are the amount opportunity to be heard, say, yeah, or the amount, but as I told you, there was actually a full hearing. Processes were filed that considered a hearing. Even there was also an oral hearing, a trial for 1 week. Pitch. So that point, now it does not arise at all. So because there is no hearing. Secondly, to the tribunal says only in case because arbitration agreements no more much me. Emma, so will be the representative. Now, 2 representatives, then they were together appointed third arbitrator. And so that's not right. But in terms of illegal, so Abano in your award in January 2021, it was confirmed. Yes, if it decreases a check and after the same chair, $138 million in law. I'm up for 170 million. We're going to 170 million. So I'm use of margin on calculating equity 170. Maybe I'm a mathematician. Now, Tribunal Biasin cancer, they say right now, I'm calculating 170.
Sikana say
$134 million plus cost only one is about over 3 point something million. As about total of $138 million. The Elena Tribunal award.
Okay.
Tribunal award is done. Hello.
Meton Kagofred.
Right. So, if the Tribunal award is done, Abanzo was concerned. I think somewhere, I'm saying I think because certain we need power. And we need to be a alien is a 2 year SI. We 2 years together with all other ministers, a 2 year SI, 7 January 2021. It's a president appoints you later. The appoint later, you are not a public officer. Certain to me, I was close with my friends who are unemployed. Because really, I had no official capacity. Unlike other ministers who are appointed as president's representatives now for various ministries. Whatever, me, I was not appointed as president's representative. I don't know if but what we say, or President appointed a president's representative or a minister of justice during that time, that is February or January, February. I was not. And indeed, President could not have appointed such a representative because in Branich, in the office, there's a law, Legal Service Act. And that Legal Service Act specifies that Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, the Solicitor General, there's a head of the office until such time that the President will appoint an Attorney General and a Deputy Attorney General. So from January up to 5th of March, I had no official capacity. But during that time, law firm for London, a firm Oman Strategy, headed by Madame Sherry Blair QC, top barrister in the United Kingdom of Great Tony Blair wife. But then sorry, Tony Blair wife is not a top barrister. She herself is a top barrister in her own right, recognized across the UK. She wrote apparently to I don't even the Solicitor General, the person who was in the office at that time, and stated that obviously after appear the hearings of course the arbitration award in the final. The advisor was concerned about paying that money. So, okay, really, if that's the case, when our UK lawyer, which my family challenge or UK high, yeah, no problem. I didn't financial. And I'm saying trial because it's actually a trial of luck at that time because really, by that, as I indicated to you, arbitration award, the final, they deliver and no one. Ghana and challenge the arbitration award bidder. And this time, they have back an energy award against government of Ghana, I think $30 million. They didn't challenge it. No, they accepted it. There were other awards, even before and all that. They all accepted it. CP and all that. They all accepted it quietly. Ghana government accepted it quietly. Nobody attempted to say, it's way there are extra steps we are before the final concerned about the judgment so person or take it. Madam Sherry to me say on file so said Madam Sherry to me on file challenge.
Omanfm.
File no first of file application for extension of time. Not court to man the time so okay. But I'm file challenge within about less than 2 weeks. But total it comes up to about 8th March. So by 8th March, some filing challenge. Then on 7th March, Madame Sherry quite curiously indicated that she couldn't really file any plausible or credible challenge to the matter because of human credible personal. The grounds for a challenge as I indicated earlier on to lack of judiciary, lack of a hearing or some medicality. It's not really exist. It's ultimately filing challenge. A day before time last year. And 7th March in Pune was a Sunday, and then Sunday Ghana. And 5th March has been appointed Attorney General. 6th March was a Saturday, and then 7th March Sunday. Madam Sherry indicated said, 8th March was a holiday because of the fact that 6th March fell on Saturday. So, 9th March was actually my first official day at work. Of course, I saw Mr. President that day, and I indicated to him. I said, well, yes, he has become aware, but it's a matter of concern. I mean, what I think so I didn't be on that because of this bit my I'm on hope, I'm on I should cry. I said, well, church or not, maybe I said, which by night, a day before I tell me that so went me and I say, you are prepared to assist with a settlement. I'm in public accident because of the settlement in social by so which my then we thought about it and I took a view that well there is no harm trying. After all, he who is down needs fear no fall. He's already down. The award has been given against us. According to we call Supreme Court, about judgment. Supreme Court judgment say final. But we try our luck by filing a review. That's exactly what the situation was. It's okay. The interest of the nation. Let's try and see if we can file a challenge. And we considered some lawyers. One law firm that came up prominently was Botera Theatre, a very strong international law firm. They have represented numerous nations across the world, South America, some African countries, Asia, and all that. And they indicated, well, the case is actually quite, but they can try and see because really, as you all know, arbitration awards are final. And almost indicated they can take advantage of factors like the late appointment of the Attorney General, the presence of COVID, which affected every economy around the world, led to things not moving as smoothly as expected and all. As an excuse for now asking for another extension of time. See, I don't know if I'm explaining myself. So start telling any time you're going to file a challenge, any time you're going to beg for time to also file a possible challenge. If you file the application, of course, they took their time to examine all the relevant documents from timer. The relationship occurred between the parties. This was an agreement in 2015 up to the termination and the arbitration itself and all. I'm finally challenged. Yes, it was there again. There was a full hearing. A hearing I observed it on the internet. I saw them arguing on the internet and all. And then last week or last 2 weeks, now High Court so William by Ghana was out of time. They cannot file a challenge. So those are the full circumstances. But the point I want to establish is that clearly any step taken in the matter after January 2021 was not as of right, was not a step that was really legitimately available as of right to the government of Ghana. it only constituted an ingenious way to see if the judgment that had been given could be upset or could be set aside. Something like that. I was comparing it with other arbitral awards that had been given against Ghana in the past, even in the NBC's time. Whenever the arbitration award is given, I want to say, no, simple. But I can see when it was given, yes, that was it. They accepted it. And they paid in paying, so interest in accrued. Yeah, back on the arbitral amount. Something like that. So that was it. So this, I think that the steps taken in January or after January, so that should be applauded. It should be applauded as a rather because we were actually trying to challenge an arbitration award that has been given by an arbitral award. We didn't accept the arbitral award just lying down.
A few questions now, young Koyanim. Mrs. Blair and Solicitor General, one more correspondent, no, correspondence and a course between Womo and Oman Yiniana Air Course on. Is it on record?
Yes, of course, emails, but lawyer client confidentiality. The lawyer go UK, not only the client or Ghana. After by email, you don't expect me the attention of Ghana to see that I'm releasing it to you. I'll not release it to you. And by law, I'm not supposed to release it to you. By the evidence act in Ghana, I cannot even tender such evidence in court. Even the court will not allow me to tender it in court. The correspondence between myself and my lawyer. No. So, but the record still remains that there was representation by Sir Blair QC that an appeal was possible. That is why arbitration, the normal ruling 94, put a spin on receivers, it refers to that there has been an earlier count of extension of time to Oman strategy. So that's confirmed.
Okay.
Yes.
A committee at NDC a setting of 29th of September said the kind meeting year 2016 committee no recommendation mono na a woman say to me a negotiate for 18 million. Na send a woman said no mujina so a omu say bet me a negotiate for 18 million.
But I think it's yes, it is not accurate to say the committee no can say which one negotiate for 18 million. That assessment by the committee was without regard, if you ask me, to the terms of the agreement that the NDC people had entered into. What I'm saying is that the committee is Omokan and reflected what the NDC people had actually signed. NDC people had actually signed a different agreement. And what the NDC people had signed was to declare that if the agreement is terminated, whether conditions then have been satisfied or not, the government of Ghana will be liable to the payment of all sums that were payable under the agreement, together with other expenses that were incurred by the party that we're dealing with. You see, that is how I say that such an agreement for me is bad, because it is a more entitled to agreement. But when you say Ghana, our law requires that if you are entering into a transaction with a foreign company and all that, foreign people that, I say a co-parliament, conditions business. Definitely necessary, one of the conditions business. Usually the government of Ghana will also set other conditions business. A binary will set other things in place for them to be done. If you also agreements are okay, even when conditions business have not been satisfied, if you just a career, it defies good reason. Now, we have agreements now, clause 1. Sought to state what is the proper position in Ghana law, that if you don't satisfy conditions business, agreement is effective. Clause 1 defines the effective date as the date on which all conditions business had been fulfilled, and that it should be 30 days after the signature date. Because MacArthur said even 1.5 years come after almost an agreement, and this is one, they did not fulfill the conditions precedent until Omanfm power. Now, interestingly, clause 2A of the same agreement defines the term of the agreement as the date or the time. I mean, they define it to start from the signature date. So, whereas clause 1 had defined the effective date as the date when conditions precedent has been fulfilled, and 30 days after signature date, Clause 2A said the term was to run from when the agreement was signed. And then Clause 2B also indicated that term, that's the time that the signature was appended to the agreement, was a guaranteed period. The signing agreements then the term starts running, and that term is guaranteed. And that if any of the parties terminated the agreement before its term, that is before its full term, the party not responsible for the termination was entitled to claim all sums as will be determined under Clause 25. And Clause 25 is where they indicated that the party can claim all amounts payable under the agreement, and the party can also claim all expenses that would accrue, even further to the sums payable under the agreement. Right from the beginning, they set us up for payment of this gargantuan judgment debt.
And
indeed, I made that point even at the tribunal hearing. I remember arguing that the implication of that provision, if the court, the tribunal was to uphold the argument of the claimant, the implication is that even if there's an agreement now you have parliament, which is also a condition precedent, it implies that the people could take us to arbitration and then claim this $138 million that we're claiming. That was it. That's the absurdity of it. And we all know it's a Ghana law. One for agreement and parliament, and valid. So any condition precedent really has to be fulfilled. It doesn't matter whether a parliamentary approval or failure to obtain lines or failure to obtain a site and all that. Failure to obtain a site really was a duty of Ghana government, and we had not done it and all that. So really, there was a failure to satisfy conditions. The tribunal replied and said, "Well, agreement some more signing. This is the implication. Why do we change it? Because agreement some signing say, man satisfy condition presenter. A huge amount of money. That's it." And that's at page 143 to 148 or something of the judgment.
Na me busa say committee omo forming no 29th of September yanka contract here was 2015 mo ho baby and was yes sign and so e ba ya bedru 2016 committee omo set here no MPP aban ba ye aden na mo anya curious kakra na bia mo terminate committee no na mo ma committee no to aso ye na adwuma.
Oh, because committee no we was doing a very important work. Committee was doing work very, good in the interest of the nation, because we had started complaining. We started complaining when we were in opposition. So MDC4, Omo a banker, Omo signing agreement, Rebecca by heart, the local balance. Sometimes an agreement are enemy. And that agreement Omo signing a very result in excess capacity. If Omo committee was doing such an exercise, I think it was an interest relation and had to be encouraged. I didn't know your mark committee in trouble. So I continued to ask the reported by, and that report confirmed what we had always been alleging, that indeed all the plenty or unnecessary PPAs were going to result in excess capacity involvement and untold financial cost to the nation. Indeed, that's what we saw. Obviously, if all the agreements have been allowed to run, it will lead to cost of about $586 million per annum for the nation for capacity development that it did not require. A total of about $17.6 billion between 2018 and 2030. We are finance services, our reports here, but not the business one part. Yeah, catch us, so agreement we want to make here. We bought $586 million a year. A total of 17.6 million a year. But it means yes, we work at but at least very about 7 million or something. Even if it's 1 billion per. Which decision will it take?
And termination of the contract near NDC committee na recommend and almost terminate.
Yes. And the analysis was very different, because the agreement was going to result in unnecessary financial burden on the taxpayer. That's not only that agreement, together with about 11 other PPAs. That's there are other arguments. It's important. I also place on record. It's under agreements to omnitimity, Western Gas, then so called arbitration. I mean, other arguments are NDC for signing. No signing, when we came as a result of all this evaluation of the PPAs that have been necessarily signed, we decided to terminate that one. And that's one, Western Gas Limited. The claimant was claiming about $1 billion, $1,088 million for arbitration. I don't know, we argued, and with the same procedure, we had Stan Lawrence and I also led from the officer argued, and eventually, and we actually we got off with just about $68 million. So for $1.8 billion, we got off with only $68 million. Maybe at least if one can say, if I could with me, I save more, and I just save up about $1 billion, and the one can say.
Anyway, me do ase no pay, but near wo ana e ha Omanfm kakra ye say committee no can say some negotiate e betumi negotiate for 18 million ya tenase ya kotua say they can $138 million and no ne ha Omanfm say na e ba ne say ne atwan amade ne kokoduro.
No, but the committee can say negotiate ya betumi 8 million. Let's just say for negotiate no to accept it. Committee no opinion. And the committee's opinion, as I indicated, did not really reflect the true terms of the contract. Because the contract, as I taking my time to explain to you, clauses 1 and clauses 2 as well as 25 will show the contrary. So, ultimately, we'll work about the amount that the tribunal awarded. So that was it. But I'm saying that, all in all, if you look at the decision to terminate this together with other PPAs now, a buying rather saved the nation about 17.6 billion over 12 years, and then each year we save the nation about $586 million. It's also in the committee's report, and that's the matter that the NDC people they can never dispute, or they have never disputed.
Attorney General, I do say no pay prepare. Ba kono a okodi animu ma o man no timi save such a huge amount now. Or china na de chie kwan be mu a be pese e be di san komo no wa ma history ene kwan a ofa so a eno de yetumi edi nkunim. Sure, match. Yan so ya da say. Yankopon enka ho governor dame na oye the Attorney General Republic of Ghana 107.1 so ni na na da bi antiatiamu na nkrofo ne am omo sign na be boy aka omo say oh boy aka na generation na omo sign na mo am say akoti committee ni say de mo sign no do so afi hwe de akowie
yeah na makachira o say the NDC here and between 2014, 15, 16. No? So, it said, dear, you know how? Yeah, what a company, or workers, or Kotama companies do no. Even Kraha, Guinness, Nom, Tema, PFC, one companies be bring or more Casa, and far workers at the Belgium. We company fans or a pioneer food country, for example. And also, you be here car. Eddie a fan crofo bajuma, and young concope companies no sign contract. Na Oman fire juma for reguma. Dedi kai, ya win him say be a juma for be 1,000. And so now what the Crofo was small almost on copy companies almost beba family man almost brought you or say Abia ya juma for bear and pim what can be a goon Anna Carson also a quackofano so the macan wouldn't so work as 1,000 into unya and a baby almost titty beer saying to unya beer 30 sita bases so a bear a dua. A bit me after my phone if you baby titi be farmer take be yeah this for you omo akope omo kwa no company wa akotran so omo company is oh yeah no you need 30 seater bus oh you was 65 seater bus me answer so yeah pay no company no so okay any afei kura ne yebeto ye no mo sign agreement nti ye kwa kwaje bank bosan ye de akoto 70 or 65 buses miensa because ye no mo contract no mo sign oh mo koto na ya mana anya adwuma ye betua no mo nu akosan mo koto na ya mana anya adwuma ye betua mo koto energy IPPs no mo sign power purchasing agreement ya sa no mo ye excess capacity enti wo na wo se company no onfa 75 seater buses and 9 enfa o staff de biamra staff is ya winim say baby omo tete no unhia 65 seater bus na de akofom unya 20 seater bus a ebetumi akwa man kofa ebetumi akopom ebetumi ba ni nyina no wakọ sign agreement a company bi ko invest akoto 75 seater bus seater oni madie wo yo
keke me sign if you say me am ni company ni din komo wa kira nsan na me na se ba di da wa me nkonko ya se wa kire me sign
enti no woni company na ya adwene so o de me ma contract we ya Faco bank koko jiska na fakoto 65 seater bus no me nsa wa woni msa o staff ni so omo ye kakra bi ya ade ndisi ya no enti mo akosen sign de di kai power purchasing agreement no mo sensan 43 no kra e doso dodo
na nyo no mo committee o mo ti sa be ka se doso dodo
enti committee o mo ati no 2016 start year adwuma MPP kra ba power no 2017 na o mo nsampa power purchasing agreement ya sana na broso one of them I think it is this company judgment data be say every so mo san fidie agreement na company di o mo machine bebe do tamahabo no ya no mu nyi mfidie no kura mu famu
nsuni ya ha se etu omoka
me start it ya yes start it ya capacity charges
ani keke o ma sa abo mo so mo sa ba biu
o di ase na Ghana fo no ene sebe enipa bi sorry o mo ti Twitter ni social media no mo ya yina abai mo mo no o ya be ya yi no na ye generate hatred for no na nkrofo we know that they are yaw ebia akromfo be too strong word but so Kofi Adams sitting MP for Buam NDC MP otimi ekofa abailan cruiser Ghana buy
according to ABC News we buy car
we akofa obi Toyota Corolla number from license office no they are born na or the car no na or the year Harry no ochi what I say this is an MP from a particular political party ade oye no na oye just one of many NDC members omu wiewia abai car ene abai niama edi sa Jumawi Obiaba obey investigation wa hunu asam no
na John Mahama say o mai bibi amonchi o
na say na ya enya asam sia o dey say enya say asam sia and sada na no why bibi awi so open wo court ko egbe nfi mi
so open onye on direct government appointed minister ya de obi anya hwi
chief executive
tie John Mahama.
You know, no direct political appointee of mine, political appointee like minister or anybody, they convict them for corruption. After all the things they say, all the lies they talk and things, maybe we they sit here, no conviction, like we steal money or something. By now, several of us they inside.
So what?
Onim dia oka.
Commercial.
Yeah. I am misleading.
Anya misleading say.
Never bamba. CEO. Na Cocobot. Omo budget omo control. Cocobot. Afi bi omo ko sign ndi. Opuni ko sign the last syndicated loan contract opuni ko sign 2016. Okoji $1.7 billion. Na Minister Bena afi ne budget bedru bi $500 million. What are you telling me? Opere kwaje sasika and oba no otini sa. That's why he's in court. John Mama so on your political appointee. John Mama on your political appointee. And as how can you? I mean, there be Penimun Chatos
or Council or BBC PG.
Penimun Chatos and you no interview. Well, Musan. What about Sadina Tamaklu? Comfortatuama. Yeah, this Kaguma ye bag Asian was Pentex. Filling station 500,000. 500,000. Now, Omo generating hatred. Niama. Oma make say 1 MDP minister under President Kufuor. Now, where we are state car. No, I comfort to your Corolla car. And the above. Kofi Adams. Okodru court no. Ano awa gane. Sa Ghana for pen cry out. You be who say political party be emun krofo omo the time bia because omo who say sabe Ghana for we are meek. We are meek. Na the over be ye no. Nyesi yanhu you guso apa na wo akokodru asaba ene John Dinapo. Momo sinsa contract we nyina aba no onu mom no nam ho onu mom no nam
me das ma me nam ho mra na ye bre na eko
na za enya ba nya bai MPP enya NDC wo mo de enya party Kobo enya onne na mu anya I say lugu keeper o se so ni ba o tu park so I say keeper o se be ho ni oni desi oni hwe azo oni koda wo mo de Kobo na mo anya so so ka onye ba bi nya o ma no be je ye mai.
I nearly gave up on driving out of frustration. What hadn't I done? Purging, replacing electrical parts, changing my fuel pump, and still, the engine noise in my car won't stop. Then I met this guy who said I should try Goil Fuel. By the way, my name is Thomas, but I did try Goil Super XP Ron 95. Then,
Goil stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3 multifunctional enhancer, more efficient, eco-friendly, and at no extra cost. Available at every Goil station. Ajibebia.
Now my car is renewed. Yankonkwa.
Goil Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP, higher grade fuels, excellent for modern engines and all vehicles. Goil, good energy. Yeah, dear.
Now me say, a free brand who the beer we are active, very strong and energetic.
We are 100%. Na nina ni sadie. Me hwe me pedua sofa. Na de boa me. Mama hoden, mama timi ko bada. Ene tabia zanika heba mister.
Tabia zanika heba mister. Ah, what do you dance here cheme?
Who dance here die? Enye wonko. Me de dawure na atoso. Na media cha nipa mpempem. Tabia zanika heba mister. Ma tuni di nyamiama. Sa wonoma emenkwamu a ewo nipadua no mu a ye fra mu asojafo. Eye word blasters na hoden. Enti nipadua ni nya hoden sonko. Kutia yare ahodo bebre. Enti wonta nyare. Enti na da me ye strong no. Eye general well-being of the body. Enti ye adwuma ewo nipadua na kwa no mu ba bia.
Me am tumi hu. Ene se busue bie.
Eye busue nchemfa. So obi di ne ho to tabia zanika heba mesa so a. Eden so obeyare. Na nya na ewo ba bia tonto aduro bia. Tia ne nso se obi a onya mfinhye dumienu apemfo ene abatan a ọma ọmanofo entimi no bi. FDA ahwehwe sa adwade nkratomu mu agye atumi se ye.
Same great bag and paint piano and niema kese biara hyase efre nketo mu etise waduaba na enyini abeyedua kese na aso aba Sara and ADB ebehwe ama wanyini ADB sie hunu bebre no wode beboa ama wodwadie ene wumpuntu akoso wano empempi ya ye ne wodi nkita ho no ye hwese ne wunuma ene wodwadie nkita ho ebeye shodo sesi ADB di abefo internet edijuma eno eboa ama wunuma akoso wano yankura bata bia ewo Ghana for na nyina edi insawoso esane wumpuntu nti wamamra ene wodwade yesu ne sen wodaye so ne sen ADB ene wo benyini abom friend 0302210210 ana internet abefo no so www.agricbank.com ADB truly agric and more.
Na me say wo yonku mai die school kwa no wo kwa wa bin sa no me mai die bonku
nya wo manua no wo kire wuo
dabi school no so ka ho
me ne me yonku na susu ama wo say St Peter's Mission Schools and an mani crow wo nursery primary JHS SHS regular and SHS remedial May June and an object enti afibia wo exams num prenu
enti St Peter's Mission Schools SHS no wo general science general arts business home econs and visual arts nyina bi
and qualified and dedicated examiners and our radio of modern science lab ICT lab papabi modern facilities and a conducive classrooms
eya na results ni hia me
BEC any wasi nada what are you po
and the na me mano ebeko St Peter's Mission Schools
menso me de me ba wa fairly wasi beko St Peter's Mission Schools so wo so ba fairly wasi a 0244 313 734 and 0243 264 274 St Peter's Mission Schools our East Legon Robert Manat Palms and Shalebotre Newtown down.
Cocoa dairy free coconut milk. Cocoa dairy free coconut milk. Yakube America, obo de dua bakube ene ye de aye. So wo di good tea ana cocoa mu a embo apoapo. Enti ema no peduane ye kra behwa nkasa. Calcium ni vitamin D2 a ewo mu no. Ema wo si no ndo mpemu ye din. Vitamin D12 no so boa ma wo moja ni di efusane. Cocoa de eduaba na ye de aye. Na Vegetarian Society a ewo UK agya tum pefe. Cocoa dairy free coconut milk. Tiba ku sesia. Etufo for telephone 027-444-0180. FDA ahwehwe sa edwadie nkrato yi mu agya tum sɛ yɛ. Cocoa dairy free coconut milk.
Pedema garlic bitters ya menum ye no ama ahode fufo bia ba minsimi mu entimi do bram ye ni aguro bi ni ehwede obedi first akosia what be waso a na mbabu efisa me mama pedema garlic bitters ya prekoso wo mu no ewura me ni pedue mu ebuso mi immune system etimi nantio mitumriko me ye dwumo me di aguro bemrede pedema garlic bitters a enu nkoa na prekese fremu no ahode de so obi ani wodi e be se bram ye ni aguro na hade na aguro no ye pirolo ana Jack, what are you? Oh, dear, Hana can be more soon. Oh, correct. Oh, five. No need Yariana Humbreti. Yes, Yabusa. Nesane, but them are garlic bitters. The only garlic bitters are precursor woman. I beckon I said, yeah, and then I said, Ankoma, Fan Care Ventures Limited, yeah. Or Diaba, Ama Apeti or Kaishi Drug Lane, Nana Watching, His Walk, Freedom Pharmacy, all herbal shops, net to 14 Flocotobi, 027-242-2242. The Dema garlic bitters. Sani garlic wom
ade panono kofa bae wasande 3CP papa ebeboa efie bia aba mesi ade padie etwamuda wo de 3CP egu som dware a eba ho bae efimu amoa ho fa 3CP efrenso huhu wonu anopa bia na ma wo se ho bae wonu aduane na eja ana eso hie ehyewo a fa 3CP efrenso fifa so eno ano no wo hyewu wi a fa 3CP efra eso fifa so na beboa obebre 3CP ehye pimples ebombo ekro na ekum kro enimnu ya wonso 3CP so de enye na wo drugstores biam etufo ko adepa pharmacy ene SGSSB ene hwani mu okanshi free 0302 664 832 kumase adepa pharmacy e wadum ene Hello FM ene hwani mu 3CP efie bia hia 3CP bambo
beautiful brand new day.
Me telegram no na so no ekua hwefi ama me be sesia me wo fa wo so amane ne niam report BBC mu seledi wa betre fia ro so fa me nyehwe.
Hey homeboy guy it took up pot na wo fa mane home appliance na je say e can say appliance
me ntoni ba bia e ka kin say
appliances wo wura ho na atade wo mo te so ma wo na je say wo dem ho niam apre nye ne nyina bo na wo toy madam fu bi na ka kire me say me ma can say appliances me to niam na atade ba ba ye chew ba ko to me ne no Kenya washing machine, air conditioning, refrigerators, woofer with surrounding speakers, and a demo near Mabia, brand and so dear Samsung, Hisense, Media, Chigo, Pearl, Nasco, and the Keka Hubia.
Who told me you know what you never the communions, how the funny mammy and so on.
Yeah, but so you're near Menina, and so I'm mobile, and a total, and a dish anymore.
Of Uncle Barry, I have police station.
I back a free pipe junction.
I'm a universal filling station.
What past the White House, SCP,
trying 0555 776050
0200 421 004.
I give you praise, oh God. Say you cast a Dominion herbal powder. A young one with Juma Emma immune system. And I am Quabo will nip a drum in Yedden. Nanny Senti, what I did Yarosun Kunimua. And what dance be new?
I don't dare find my movie. Sina me do what dancing. And I say, me say, no one price station. Me don't watch it. Me buy me now science. I'm a program. Me 9 system into me now be. Demetra Kunyasun. So me no more drone 3 days. It's me Jina Menasu. A try there.
Dominion herbal powder dear. Minya and ya a man for dancing and a bacon fool. Near I yet will be nipa diamono. A bro madrin and a mentias yeso. Nipa biara who per se would do fear Yankupo de Mawuno. No would mean a dear. And my Dominion herbal powder. And Pau de biara da.
As someone at the hono. Dominion herbal powder. And once one you so share will take up. Now that take it to us a biagumu. We're transitianum. Where we Angels Dominion Herbal Center one koko and a diaba. A pen for a baton more monufo. And in Quadawan in feeding you need one come home. Do 054 315 8195. FD I shall say a dreading crack to him ajatum say
Franco Trading Enterprise still phone Papa Fie Samsung near Nokia near iPhone near say our printers mobile phone accessories Franco Trading Enterprise our one TV digital television set I this satellite and the ultra panels abomuma
Franco Trading Enterprise and Facebook so Franco Trading Enterprise page nasa likes number 100,000 ayomwa any omuniga Samsung at www.francotrading.com Android app Franco Trading Instagram at Franco Trading nani papa the for Franco at the Momo pay code number 189480.
Your branches on the Bebre Wagana baby name head office on the Twaya Dabaka opposite Roxy Cinema.
Tema Franco Community 1 water works near the enemy. Cycle opposite Odor Rise. Madina 100 meters away from the police station. Kaswa Franco opposite Kaswa Polyclinic.
And our prayer numbers in Nani and Chowuntum 0246 422 338 and 0546 133 188. Franco Trading Enterprise still from Papa Fie and you're not going.
I go Ghana Bantan with 1 year chef. Yet na yen say and Chebia Yankodani say because could be moo. Anne, now what wow who dear. So wow, Emma de how cry. Media some denim. So better bunny pencils, books, and I near my keka hunyan. And Kobe Bia called JK Company Limited phone chain. When they use sole distributors, Emma Nataraj products a Ghana hanging out. One more Nataraj pens, pencils, crayons, pencil cases, mat sets, a fade, what JK exercise books, what I would JK 5-star A4, and a fade A3 papers. Who better be able to make beer? Yeah, we hear paper at the ID. She said JK Company Limited, the truck wine, and what number 60 or 2 Bloom Street. One Christ Embassy, sorry, no, and a bunch anymore. I will not industrial area. Fair woman, and now the woman castle WhatsApp was 0540 125 999.
Hey, what fish somewhere you know? And many who say I can't want some. Who can't stop a packet say no baha, none and Nasa Tataya, or Casano didn't Sakatana. But we weird to say Papa.
Matilda Mokanina, Spanish garlic mixture, and then a capsule aroma, and I'm a pomodressa.
Wow, why you nice and Casa, Spanish garlic mixture, and then the capsules. Hey, and your mama you come apart.
A woman bought your dear for Sunny with the Pedriano. Now a voice as a bro, I want to chew hypertension, a tick or a sauce, or do a target to 10 temper. Gas yam a macra amania mumma fuchi cromina a truck we broke a water avian a friend and hoyan and see as Spanish jinko capsules hana Spanish jinko and what they nura what free jinko biloba and soya oil na a bois and melma mumutimi jomana so ye paya juma and my wajumo so daho
Martin say anti-aging and a more good retentive memory na yet on Spanish garlic mixture and this Spanish jinko capsules no here
and check herbal center for and then pharmacies chemical herbal shops and run some for 0266 11 41 11. A painful about more money for them because they would be fitting you and come. FD, AG, a gradient crack to you at
CEO. Why is this?
We are Ghana, my dish. Musum put in Tony. And let me withdraw one swa if you tinated her bass center. Bedemam. Your friend tinated Westbow capsule. Coco Nado Crow. We see in a yoya. We am a team. And I say a Jumadinti. I'm not what I say. I'm a when you see problema. We here tinated Westbow capsule. Car Quenchano when ya. What's your shade? And I'm soon the old me now nice one. We here tinated Westbow capsule. Ubi on my Coconti. Onto me embo and yadia was away. Minyabima. We here tinated Westbow capsules. Tinated Westbow capsules. Tinated her bass center. And Aquafaba.
Hey, Tinadek ambassador. No one wants you. Any me student, I may use laptop. Many say me, who are you? I didn't use me West Nansan and me, Mr. Median.
Many are buying Casacra. We here, Tinadek Hayan Heba capsule. Hayan Heba capsule. And no any bejo. So what's my computer? If you be brain, I'm not when you're a new problem. We here, Tinadek Hayan Heba capsules.
Hayan capsules?
Yes, Tinadek Hayan Heba capsules.
I dear me, Papa, what drive that later. I check and I do. Oh, who I see you. Any minya bemo, Pusan and Niman and I own shin. And I said, and I bet you name a busia.
Ayo, Tinadek Hayan Heba capsules. And no any better when you were busia. A barber bomb mobile. Every and near the Ankitingitia. I don't go anywhere busia. Wow, wash a space. I'm a one day. And now already I was already booking about him. And now one day we're telling we are Tinadek Hayan Heba capsule. A draw was what Tinadek Heba Kuya Aquafaba. But the bro say, M1 Nancy when you so Emma when you so now. MP when you so Jack. Tinadek waste power capsules. And Tinadek Hayan Heba capsules. Etusi Simono. Ne view when you so high.
Electricity. Go. Wake up to a fresh morning. National Agenda. Your number one morning show.
And some non so if he is not a direct political appointee, how come all the top executives follow him to court? Now, share that social media platforms. Minimum Busanda say a chedodo. I don't know Rakofi Adams still and that's one and I'm hona young Kojeka na young Fanny Nasi in Yabia.
Oh, can airport police station. What do I say? Okay. Can the airport police station for action of Kano. Oh, following the or they say ABC publication. And no mom di card the call code could see ABC. The airport police station could see ABC newspaper. And no who said the case ever corner on one side case but ABC so aqua pulu order company na a buy contracting money talker Sterling one company and then this use omo Toland Cruisers bebre Sterling for car omo kotoma by 2016 emu ba kona ekodi Kofi Adams so
Kege mumi yankuna is almost 9:30.
Okay.
Abana tell ni yankuna.
Ene kwa yawo.
Nyumra na.
Enti driver Musa usi ye kwa ho a enye
sa. Mo shimpo abobeti
na ya obuaji ibusa se na kami busa minister se prosecution be koso a se de ensem no isi ekro no.
In fact, we share a new crusading guy MP for Doma East, a member of Energy Committee in Parliament. Ono say ono consensus agreement in power purchasing agreement no young prosecute omo as a more the MCB for niema but me yaw nyese me gi abait but Ghana for so ye ne yi nkrofo no mo bedi eso ye ne yi nkrofo mo take a decision the omudi to me and no resources be ye what I say the same people omo ba so a omo consensus agreement last week can of for talk of parliament can say 3 IPPs independent power producers omo agreement NDC no omo sign between 2017 and now excess capacity charges kwa yetua momo $930 million, almost $1 billion.
And no now mo committee in the trans yes I na mo sense na also do omo committee.
And you know the same characters. And the same characters. Oh, they said that's only number. And it's a Ghana for your best idea. I saw Monsa. So, no sooner a poor Monsa. Yara.
Almost Rabbi, so on Chomum.
Yara. Somebody, no, the same thing I will say. Abang engine to no. Or ye nipa. Umpeso be chichamu or nisodia. so twam wani so nso tene so ntaso kokko
abena
ya now now say kromfo oya cheno no anajo na the same kromfo na wo say ya ncheno no ashatare fita no oba na wo say wa mana konwa so ntrase ade cheno no aba shout to aba say oya kromfo
so your responsibility
yes so ya to aba no you make a decision or responsibility in the same way abai try so obachi na ya hwehwe niam eduru anajo a mane nko shatare fita no onsa ma ofie say hanbofo no oba we bia wo dai now say NDC ni tenase Kofi Adam tenase ohu so wo shatare kokko dia na wo kan wo say MPP for no ya kromfo omo ya kromfo wo na wo say oya kromfo na banchi na obuafu nu wa wo ya ready sa ube bi ofie kwa ube ya na baba tan
amofa ye ko wa ye ko
important news na ye de air to aso na ye tete se obi aye na adwen se obeye changes bi finance ministry and GRA na niema ebobo ba no se uhu demonstration eso da o de koso na niema ebobo ba no se uhu demonstration da o de koso MPP for nyina business community MPP for me chiamu nyina chia GRA for nyina so chia finance ministry for nyina Madame ho maritime important news ni aka no enanwumre ebeso jase ko hye no nso good morning
Yensu akwan suju medie hia mo man bia nkanko Ghana eku wiase na di wiase so ba Ghana Shippers Authority ani so ade hu ne se ye bebuo nsuo so adwadifo ewo how bia wonam mu efiri no ma ayra dia seye sika yaji wa emfa kwan so eni hawo huduo pi henya daje che nsuo so adwadifo eno ma eko se de be ya wo beti ase ye ni so ade hu ne se ye besom ni asom sompa Ghana Shippers Authority ewo Ghana Shippers House Ridge Accra Gapoha Towers Tema NCA Building 4th Gardens Echupe Okumas Takrade Shippers Center Takrade Yamusa Building Sansuna Gumbihini Kamale Yawo Complaint Unit Ewo Elibu Paga Aflau Boda Sansuna Kutuka Wimshejina Bia Ena Takotel Takrade Friend 0302666915 and I toll free number 0800300555.
Ghana Shippers Authority, providing shipping solutions.
Amen. Yenim samu sase nije asene sen.
Asiane se wode amen agyina nsani ani ɛwɔ herbal ayaresam bio na nkumdie adasidie na asie ɛne abasobɔde nko a. Sɛ wanso wo hwɛ apomdie no ahotɔ a wɔde abra manfo ɛfiri yɛn tiri so ɛkɔsi yɛn naaseɛ. Ɛhina yadeɛ sɛ amen hu ɛnsaw yadeɛ. Wɔde ne nuwe ne abɛɛfo mfidie ɛkyi yadeɛ no kunu what time.
Amen ɛde herbal akɔ modern wɔsan de naturopathy ɛne homeopathy kwan ɛko yɛn nyarewa.
Sɛ sukuufo firi amanɔne bɛsua ɛkwan a yɛde herbal sɛ yadeɛ ɛwɔ amen.
Wɔn nyinaa nti ɛna yɛde anigyeɛ fɛ from sɛ sɛ wɔɛpaawoɔ yareɛ bi hyehyɛ wo ho anaa yareɛ bi abɛgye akonnwa wɔ nipadua mu a Allahu Shafi onyame ne yaresafo inshallah ɛnyame adom a ayaresa bɛba.
Amen wɔdɔme wɔbɛ old smith flat
ultra modern branch wɔ Klagoon Tama Road frɛ 020-722-9505 ɛna 0245-275254. Amen Scientific Herbal Hospital.
Grace-filled morning. Welcome to Maritime and Port News. Maritime and Port News is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in all your shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. Maritime and Port News is also supported by Amen Scientific and Alternative Medical Hospital. Amen. God is our healer. My name is Nani Sibwading. Let's take a look at our stories this morning. The ultra-modern liquid bulk terminal LBT in the Takoradi port will receive its maiden oil tanker vessels by the end of June this year. Although belated, the operationalization of the liquid bulk terminal by Marshall Oil and Gas Services, a subsidiary of Ibis-State Ghana, couldn't have been perfected without these critical consultations. Director of Port, Captain Ebenezer Feji, disclosed that plans to kick the facility into operations after its commissioning last year by the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, were frustrated by the COVID-19 pandemic. He indicated all requirements and certification for the operationalization of the terminal had been concluded. Captain Afedi disclosed that 3 phases of due diligence assessment and other checks have been conducted on the facility by National Petroleum Authority, NPA, before giving the green light. These checks included an inspection of the terminals, distribution pipelines, industrial safety mechanisms, compliance, and many others. The new LBT project, when operational upon the arrival of the maiden tanker vessel, will become the deepest drafted LBT along the west coast of Africa, thus positioning the port of Takoradi as an essential and cost-efficient logistical service for the supply of liquid bulk cargoes such as petrol, diesel, LPG, bitumen, and so on. In other stories, the 112th meeting of the Greater Accra Regional Shippers Committee has been held under the auspices of the Ghana Shippers Authority to educate shippers on trends in industry relevant to their business processes. The committee members were sensitized on the incoming Marine Cargo Insurance Protocol, which requires shippers to procure marine insurance locally. Senior Manager at the Supervision Department of the National Insurance Commission, Mr. Anson Denchi, said modalities for implementation of the protocol have been drafted, including the application of minimum rate and timelines for legitimate claims to be paid. He also touched on the competitive advantages local insurance possesses. The shippers were also educated by the Bank of Ghana on requirements under the letters of credit and letters of commitment. Deputy Director of the Banking Department at the Bank of Ghana said automation with the integrated custom management system has enhanced processing of letters of commitment. He added that once a button is clicked, Bank of Ghana gets a copy. Other banks nominated to receive export proceeds also gets their copies, and the Customs Division of the GRA also gets their copies, and thus makes it simple, automated, and seamless. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Greater Accra Shipper Committee, Berima Dr. Feria Mayal, advised shippers to stay abreast with trends in the industry. If you just join us, this as Maritime and Port News. The Ghana Port and Harbours Authority has embarked on a camera upgrade project for its security department to elevate the existing technological surveillance at the port of Tema. The project comprises of the enhancement of the video management system, the rehabilitation of the camera, control room, and the procurement of modern security equipment. Along with these installations, about 20 security personnel have undergone a 2-week training to acquire the requisite skills necessary to man the facility. The Tema Port Security Manager, Colonel Emmanuel Nyante, during a commissioning ceremony, averred that the new security facility will inject added efficiency to security surveillance to Ghana's biggest commercial port. Meanwhile, the corporate IT manager of GPHA, Francis Donko, said checks and controls have been put in place to ensure that abuse of the security system is impossible. So on this note, to wrap up this morning's edition of Maritime and Port News. Maritime and Port News is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in all your shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. Maritime and Port News is also supported by Amen Scientific and Alternative Medical Hospital. Amen. God is our healer. My name is Nanisi Wate, my producer, Kwekwa Bwaji. Have a great day.
Yensu akwan suju medie hia mo membia nkanko Ghana eko wiase ne di wiase so ba Ghana Shippers Authority ani so ade hu ne se ye bebuo nso so adwadifo wo haw bia wonam mu efiri no ma ayra dia seye sika yaji wa emfa kwan so eni hawo hudo pin nya daje chen so so adwadifo eno ma eko se de be ya wo beti ase ye ni so ade hu ne se ye besom ni asom sompa Ghana Shippers Authority wo Ghana Shippers House Ridge Accra Gapuha Towers Tema NCA Building 4th Gardens Echupe Okumasi Takradi Shippers Center